channel, the Football and Banter Factory channel of Bora B. And today I want to talk about formations. I want to talk about what Chelsea's best possible lineup is with the current squad we have for 2021 until January. Potentially we might buy players in January. I don't know. I don't know. I think in the next few months how we play will contribute to that decision, whether or not we buy a player or whether what players we're looking at. But right now, with what we have, I just want to look at the formations we have. We can play with the personnel we have. So the first formation that I want to look at is the current formation we're playing, which is the 4-2-3-1, 4-4-1-1. I think this formation is best for Havertz, honestly. It's the best formation in order to get the best out of Kai Havertz. Kai is our most creative player for sure. We have a lot of creative players, but I think it's between him and Ziyech as to who our most creative player is. But given, I think Havertz is more of a natural passer in the final third, whereas Ziyech can drop into deep positions and cross the ball and find those pockets. Whereas Havertz is more of a goal scorer and someone who's very good at the final pass. So I think this formation 4-2-3-1 with Havertz as the number 10 is the best formation for Kai Havertz. That's the main pro, in my opinion, of this formation. The other pros is that Pulisic and Ziyech can push up as wingers as well. Odoi and Mount can play as wingers as well, and they can also push up and support Havertz and Werner, who will be up top. And there are other options. We can potentially play Werner in the left. We can play Tammy up top, but Havertz as the number 10 is the main pro in this formation. The other pro I feel is it plays Kante in his preferred position as a pivot, double pivot, and he plays that position in France. He played that position for us when we won the title alongside Matic, where he can sit a little deeper, break things up, and then initiate attacks from deep by picking out simple passes. So a potential con for me is who plays beside Kante. Now this is problematic because when Jorginho plays, he's the deepest midfielder that we have. And with Jorginho, what he tends to do is pick the ball up from the center backs and spray balls around, which is good. But what he does not have is pace. And once he gets, once an attacker gets on his blind side, he's in trouble. If they can run beyond him, he doesn't have the recovery pace to tackle. And when Jorginho plays, Kante naturally pushes up a little bit more, trying to be the more aggressive midfield player, trying to press the ball more. But that puts him out of position and sort of puts our defense in a bit of a dilemma, because we don't defend well, obviously, and without Kante we defend in his preferred position or playing as the deepest midfielder, we defend worse. So I would go with Kovacic personally if I was going to play this formation, because he can also press, and he's a press-resistant midfield player. He can bring the ball out of the back. The other weakness for me is the back four gets exposed too often because the fullbacks push too high up the park. Christensen, I feel, is not suited to a back four. Thiago Silva's fitness is extremely crucial if we want to play this formation, and Edward Mendy as well. We need them both fit if we're going to play a 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-1-1 in order to get the best out of the rest of our team. I feel like without them being fit, we are potentially in a problem defensively, and we will probably concede a lot of goals. We already do, but playing this formation, which we've played pretty much since the beginning of the season, we do concede a lot of goals. The good thing is all the other teams are conceding as well, apart from surprise teams like Villa and Everton, Arsenal. But I think it's a bit of, I feel like we're being let off. Our defense is actually quite bad. I feel like a lot of people a lot of teams are having freak results. whereas our defense is generally, I feel like it is a problem. Maybe it's not as much a problem where we score 2 or 3 times and we shouldn't win. We should, but we've seen we've seen our defense let us down too many times. So that I feel like is the weakness. The defense gets exposed. The other formation that I will look at is the formation we used a lot last season is a 4-3-3. So with Kante as the holding midfield player, not Jorginho. Jorginho can play there as well, but I would prefer to play Kante there, with Kovacic or Ziyech playing as one of the two midfield players, and then Mount and Gilmore occupying the other spots. Any two between those four can occupy the two spots. Even Havertz can play there, but I prefer to see Havertz more in an advanced position because he's such a goal threat. Up front, yeah, Warner can play from the left or through the center. Pulisic can play from the left, and Havertz or Ziyech on the right. I feel like this formation gives us better balance in midfield. We definitely control the middle more, and being a possession-based team, that is extremely important. I feel like this is probably the best formation. We not in terms of getting the best out of Havertz, but in terms of maybe what with the players we have, I think gives us better balance in the middle. Puts Mason Mount in a number 8 position, where he's best. He plays his best football there. When we push him out to the wings, or when we're trying to accommodate him by playing him out of position, that's where he starts to suffer. So I would definitely play this formation. I would expect us to try this formation in the season sometimes, for sure, because I feel like this gives us an opportunity to control the middle of the park, protect the defense with Kante as that holding mid, and because we're such a high pressing team, sometimes what we do when we play a 4-2-3-1 is we press as a whole, and the midfield presses and leaves the defense exposed. And for whatever reason, our defense doesn't push up with the midfield. Maybe they're afraid of being exposed, lack of pace maybe in a high line. But if we're going to play a 4-2-3-1 high pressing, we have to move as a team. I feel like in a possession-based system, the 4-3-3 is probably better, with Kante sitting in that space in front of the two center backs, breaking things up. We saw this formation near the end of last season when we pushed towards the top 4 spot, and we did well, to be honest, for the most part, playing this formation. And I feel like this is something we'll definitely see in this season. The problem is when we play Havertz out wide, we know that is not his natural position. That's a very good out wide as well. He's very productive out wide. He's very productive. He's most productive probably as a number 10, but he's quite productive as a winger. He's actually quite fast. It doesn't look like it. He has that Nicolas Anelka type body language, so you can't really tell how fast he is, but he's rapid. Pulisic of the left, playing in a 4-3-3, he's closer to the goal, and I feel like he does his best work there. Warner up front three can really rotate. That it's a really fluid front three, and the midfield can join in. Mason Mount, Gilmore, Kovacic, Ziyech, whoever's playing, two of them will play. So whoever the two of them are can join in the attack, and also support Kante when necessary. I feel like this is a very flexible and fluid formation. I like this formation a lot. But it does. The only weakness is Havertz is not playing in his best position. I miss Hazard. Anyways, I know he's doing bad in Madrid, but I think if he comes back, if you would bring him back here, would put the crown back on his head, and he'd be fine. The last formation I'm going to talk about. Okay, so this formation we played last season is a 3-4-3, or 3-4-2-1, or the 5-2-2-1, whatever, 5-2-3, depending on the way we played it, it's 3-4-2-1, let's be honest. The benefits of this formation is we know Chilwell is very attack-minded, and Alonso is also very attack-minded. So is Emerson, to be completely honest. The wing-backs get a lot of freedom. James can really express himself. Emerson, Chilwell, or Alonso can express themselves on the left. The two pivots have to be disciplined. So Jorginho and Kovacic as one of the pivots, and either Kante or Gilmore is the other. James can also play in midfield. We've seen that happen before last season against Everton when he came in as a sub. And the front three, again, Havertz on the right, Pulisic or Warner or Odoi on the left. Ziyech can also play in one of the flanks, right or left. And we have options in the front. Warner can play up top, Giroud, Tammy. The good thing about this is our defense gets bodies. We have five people defending. The fullbacks can push up and push back. They have to do a lot of running, but we have fullbacks who are runners who can run with the ball and have a lot of stamina. Um, that's a good thing. What's the negative aspect? Again, Havertz not playing in a number 10 is always a negative for me. There is no real position here in this formation for Mason Mount, and we know Lamps likes to really play Mason Mount, so he'll somehow squeeze him in, and I don't like to see him in one of the wide areas or in the front three, and I'm not sure if he can play as a pivot. Maybe he can. He has the discipline too, but we haven't seen that yet. Not as much. We've seen him do that for England, but not for Chelsea as much. And also the other big positive is Christensen. Christensen in the back four gets exposed way too much, and he does not have the physicality for a guy his size, which is strange. For a guy his size, he does not have the physicality to play in a back four, and he gets caught too often. He gets exposed, and he doesn't seem to have recovery pace or a good reading of the game defensively in a back four. But in the back three, I've seen him play in a back three. His best football has come in a back three under Conte, and I would, and he has those qualities like Luis used to pick out a pass, to ping balls, and to pick out those easy passes, which keeps the flow of the move going. So Christensen is a big positive in this formation. It gets the best out of him. Someone like Rudiger and Tomori, who are also not disciplined enough. Tomori is, but Rudiger probably isn't, to play in a back four. As one of the back three, they have the pace and the athleticism to sweep up. And we know with Silva and Azpilicueta, they have the experience and the quality to play on the right or on the left and provide ammunition going forward, and also protection in defense. Azpilicueta obviously plays his best football in this formation. I think Thiago Silva is quite capable of playing either in Christensen's position in the middle or on the right or left, and he has the athleticism and the brains to play in either one of these either one of the three positions. The wing backs, like I said, they go forward a lot, and I think counter-attacking wise, this is a good formation to play. With the pace we have, we can burn teams. Like if you remember the Conte season when we won the league, we burned teams with our speed, and I feel like we have that in this team. We have we have enough goal scorers and enough firepower to cause any team, basically in the division, problems. And maybe this gives us a better balance defensively. Who knows? I feel like a back five, if we can play as a back five sometimes, that would give us the option of maybe having a little bit less of the possession, but having a bit more protection in the back. This is definitely a formation to look out for, and I think we will definitely try this formation. We've tried all these three formations last season as well, and we never kind of sat with one formation, and we're in a similar kind of position this season as well. And I think we will try all the formations. Right now, 4-2-3-1 is probably default formation given the form of Havertz, but I would not be surprised if we change formations as the season keeps going on, and we have to face different tests. So I would personally right now go for a 4-2-3-1, seeing how it goes, and then switch to a 4-3-3 in certain games, maybe bigger games, to give more protection to the midfield. But yeah, I think these are the three formations we'll play, and I think these are the three formations Lampard has proven that he likes as well in the last season and this season. Lamps will probably continue experimenting and trying out between these three formations until he finds the right one. Let me know what you guys think, and leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Thank you guys, and see you.